So my 4Runner's getting its airbags worked on this week because it's had the recall, and my brakes are trash. They're kind of falling apart on me. So this weekend I'm out with Andreas.
I'm also having some brake issues we're going to try to sort out while we go on the trails.
You are?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, so you didn't tell me about that. So riding with Andreas this weekend. We're camping. This is his Tacoma. We're camping in the awning room here, and we're down on the Kentucky-Tennessee border, just outside of Jellicoe. So tomorrow we're going to head over towards Jellicoe and then head east and check out some of the tougher trails in the area. And it's cold. Right. I forgot to mention you're here.
Yay!
James is here.
Howdy.
It was pretty chilly last night. It was, I don't know what temperature is in Fahrenheit, but about -6 degrees Celsius. I'll put a conversion somewhere on the screen. And I had a little accident with my lantern. Hanging the lantern up and accidentally brushed my sleeve against it, and it just instantly melted through my sleeve and into my thermal jacket underneath. So I just ruined 2 jackets in about a quarter of a second, really quick.
The cold morning had left us with some cool ice formations.
It's just ice. Yeah. Yeah. It melts.
These ice ribbons, known as frost flowers, form when the cold causes water in the plants to expand and crack the stems. Water is then drawn up from the warmer ground and freezes as it comes in contact with the air. From camp, we went southeast into Tennessee, crossing the I-75 to the trails east of Jellicoe. There are hundreds of trails around northern Tennessee, and it's clear that we only just scratched the surface. Unfortunately, we were low on time, and there was another overlook that we wanted to visit just east of the Cumberland Gap, so we hit the pavement. Along the way, we passed even more trails. Off-roading is obviously big in this area. You see what I see? Do you see it?
Logo.
If you see it, you're going to want it.
Dairy Queen? I don't know. Bourbon?
Better than that. Starbucks.
Oh.
This area played an important role in the westward expansion of the United States.
The settlers who were coming down from like Virginia and New England areas, they couldn't get through this gigantic escarpment over here until they hit the Cumberland Gap, and that opened up some of the westward, like northwestward migration into like the Ohio and Kentucky valleys.
Settlers had been held back by the mountains for close to 50 years, but the discovery of the Cumberland Gap in the mid-18th century allowed an easy route for migration to the west. It was this route that Daniel Boone used in his exploration of Kentucky. These days you can easily access the ridgeline of the Cumberland Mountain using a series of trails. It may have been easy getting to the top, but once there, Andreas struggled. Woohoo!
Alright, time for an on-the-spot interview.
This is
How are things going?
I'm a little sideways here. Yeah. Let me tell you the exact pitch. It's close to 30 degrees.
30 degrees?
Yeah.
Thankfully, James came to the rescue with his 1989 Warn winch. Having been recovered, he backed up and gave it a second attempt. And failed again.
So at this point we're going to call it. There's still several more miles to go that way for the trail, and it's just turn around and then come back this way. It's probably, sun's getting a little low up there, so probably got an hour or two of daylight left, and we've still got a lot of trail to go that way to get out again. So we're going to turn around, hopefully winch him out, just head back out that way, because that's kind of the way home.
More towards you.
Yeah, I'm coming this way. If I can see sky between me and it, I'm good.
Yeah, a little more towards you. There you go. There you go.
That
was a little scary. Come on.
Did you video that whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
say it. You're an idiot.
I'm a massive idiot. So after that little panic and flying the drone down through that gap in the trees, I thought, oh, we're all good. And honestly, I wasn't too panicked because I could have flown the drone all the way back to the clearing I took off from, but then we'd have to turn around and drive all the way back up there, and I didn't want to do that. But it turns out I left the box for the drone back at the clearing. So
And I'm not going back to those mud holes because they don't like me.
so now either I have to run all the way back up there, well, about a mile, or someone has to turn around and take me. I'm an idiot. And back we go. Have to ride in a Jeep though.
Okay, you have a tetanus.
Good thing we didn't have any
So-
trailers.
Hopefully I don't catch anything. There it is, right where I left it. So we're following this ridge line here. The line that we're following is the state line. On the left is Kentucky, on the right is Virginia. So out that window, that's Kentucky. And then out this window is Virginia. And out front is the ridge line, the trail that we're following. So we've reached an intersection in the trail. We just came down from the ridge line up in that direction, and we've got a four-way intersection. That way is north, and that heads up towards the KAT. Behind me, going down the hill, is south down to the highway, probably a couple of miles down to the highway that way. And then behind me, the ridgeline trail continues, so it goes back up onto the ridge along the Kentucky-Virginia border, but it's like another 5.5, 6 miles that way. It's getting dark and we're about 2 hours from home. So we're trying to make the decision now whether we continue along or we just cut off at this point. And I think because it's getting dark and I need to get home tonight, I think we're gonna head down that way. But what I'll do is I'm uploading all the tracks and waypoints I have along the way to Patreon. I've marked several campsites I've seen and places that we stayed. So I will put the tracks on my Patreon page for, well, basically the whole journey that we've done here, and I'll add the ones that go up along the ridgeline, and I'll add tracks to the viewpoint that we didn't make it to as well. So if that's something you're interested in having, check out my Patreon page, and I'll put a link to that in the description. If not, that's fine. My videos won't change at all. I'll continue posting exactly what I'm posting, telling you where I'm at, and well, thanks for watching.
So I've gone out with Rob twice in a row, and twice in a row I've had to use the winch. So I'm drawing a correlation here.
The best trail ridings with me?
I'll go with that.